we managed to win because we didn't know about it first. So the answers were just right in our minds. Like we will just guess and say something simple. We'll say, okay, what is this? So we didn't need to think a lot because we didn't know about it. So we just say something that is closer, only to find that it was the answer. It was the answer. The only problem at the finals, it was so difficult to get our accent because our team was old school. So
Yeah.
sometimes it becomes difficult. We say the right answer, but he didn't get it properly. It's thinking something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time it happens, we are going to also attend the competitions. This time we're going to win.
Wait, you mentioned something that some of our viewers here may not understand. How do you define what Africa?
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready?
Nope.
For a long journey where our podcast released a new epi, searching for a fade fiending, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, tag some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talking with Donato.
Welcome in, everyone. This is Thrust Issues with our guest, Overthrust. From the Kalahari Desert of Botswana to the biggest metal stages on Earth, today's guest didn't just break into the global metal scene, they kicked the door off its hinges. Overthrust is Africa's most powerful metal band, blending raw aggression, African mythology, and real life struggle into music that's as much therapy as it is thunder. They played Wacken open air, toured Europe and the US, and turned anger, pain, and identity into a worldwide movement. This isn't just a conversation about metal, it's about healing, culture, brotherhood, and how four guys from Ganzi built something loud enough for the whole world to hear. Welcome to the show. This is Overthrust. Dumalang Vulture Thrust.
Thank you so much, my brother. Hey, Dumela in our language. Yeah, thank you so much.
I didn't know if I was gonna nail it. I didn't want to ask you, but I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a shot.
That's great. Yeah, you did it. Yeah.
Dumalang. So Overthrust was born in Ganzi, Botswana. How did that environment shape the sound, attitude, and spirit of the band?
Yeah, actually, Ganzi is a very cultural reserved area with different ethnic groups and tribes. So what is uniting the community of Ganzi is actually music, variety of music. But us introducing a different concept, at first it was a challenge. We couldn't be understood, or at some point they would think maybe we were kind of possessed, or maybe we were doing devil music, because they have heard before about the rock and roll music, and they knew some of the artists, but the metal part of it, the hard part of it, not just hard, but the hardest or the aggressive one, the death metal one that we were playing, the extreme one, it was new to their ears. So because they didn't understand and they couldn't come to us and ask us questions about our music, they just assumed that is what it is, and we will never ever maybe give them an explanation of what type of music it is.
Yeah.
Until after 5 years, when we did our festival, and then the festival was actually some sort of a tourist attraction and also a charity festival. So they got closer and closer to us, and then they started chatting with us freely. And then they felt that, wow, after all, these are just normal people like us. And the closer they got, the more now the attention and the more interest from them. And that support actually shaped the music of Overthrust, because we were now unleashing what we are freely, doing our music freely, and displaying them in a way that it should be, including all the elements that were necessary. And they then learned to accept it. Some of them didn't like the type of the music, but they appreciated and supported it. So that
Yeah.
is how actually the community of Ganzi had shaped the music of Overthrust from level one up to the present time.
Why was why was anger the emotional starting point for Overthrust, and how has that theme evolved since 2008?
Yeah, the thing is that when you grew up as a young man or a young woman, you don't see the reality of life because you are camouflaged or you are covered by the parents or the elders. So you don't actually get exposed to the extreme part of life that requires yourself to face the challenges alone. And then when you are out there now facing the reality of life at a certain stage of life, you reflect on your background, how you were brought up, and some of the time you regret your background or how you were brought up, and how are things so different from how you thought that was actually how the life was supposed to be. So in our case at Overthrust, like our music not being on the mainstream compared to other local music, we had people that had so many questions about our music, and some of us labeling us negatively, and thinking our music was influencing negative concepts in the community. So we got too much anger, especially from the religious people or
Yeah.
religious organizations. They were against our music, and they were saying our music is evil music.
Yeah.
And they would even give example of our music and say, see that those guys that riding bikes and playing that loud music, those guys are satanic and stuff like that. So we at first didn't have a problem with that. Say, no, people talk, especially when they don't understand things. But eventually we started getting angry. Now we got pissed, and we started aligning our music to those accusations, and we attacked them verbally through our music. So by that we were actually unleashing anger. So most of our themes in our music, our songs talk about like torture. Then we talk about we criticize religious concepts that we think they are brainwashing people actually.
Yeah.
And we also talk about African mythology. We talk about our ancestors, the beliefs of the ghost, witchcraft, African witchcraft, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is how our music has actually, over the years, been viewed as a unique concept, because we talk about things that people are afraid to talk about. People they are used to talking about one and the same thing. Even music, we see one and the same thing. People talk about love. People talk about nice things, but these people that mostly talk about things themselves, they experience hardships in life, but they can't sing about that. So it gives people a wrong picture. It gives people a picture that no, everything is just fine. They don't cover the other side of life. They don't want to talk about that. I don't know why. For example, people live with death every day, so they know people die, people get sick. Some beliefs, people are bewitched,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So when you talk about stuff like that, because they are not common stuff, they consider them like negative stuff, like vulgar stuff. So if you talk about them, they start pointing fingers and think maybe this one is from the dark side. So they
Yeah.
is evil. So we want people to get used to such stuff, because the songs that we write ourselves, mostly they are part of day-to-day activity like accidents. Uh, Someone will say, "Okay, don't drink and drive. That's not okay. You will cause accident. You will lose your life," and
Yeah.
then that's it. So they don't have something that may actually shock people to see the reality of that. They camouflage things. They don't face reality. They don't call spade a spade. So if we do our artwork, we put a picture of exactly scenario that is happening. Like we will put a skull, maybe a cracked skull with blood flowing all around and broken bones, and that is a very sensitive artwork or scene to see. People say, "Hey, this is not good. Hey, this is not good." So then they say it happened because somebody was driving a car and
Yeah.
they were heavily drunk, so they caused the accident. Somebody lost their life. They
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I would not like to be in a scene like that one." Then it's something that keeps on reminding people that, yeah, if you do this, you'll end up like that. If you do this, you'll end up like that.
Hmm.
So we started like a school of trust, not necessarily an official school, like the conferences, the workshops. We spread the metal around the community. We were playing free shows in the bars and in some public areas, lecturing people about the metal music and telling them, no, this is part of the music. And some would even go to the extent of saying, but how come you had music like this? How come you played? Because this music is common with the whites. Then they say, yeah, but this music it was started by a black man. It was started by Chuck Berry. But I also understand that there was another lady before Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Then there's also another. We have legends like Jimi Hendrix. The Marshall cabinets and amps have been named after him. So we had so many people. So it's a uniting music. It's a uniting music. We told them that Botswana, Botswana became popular in terms of metal. It's a small scene, but very special one. But it became popular because the interaction between the whites and the Botswana community before was a peaceful one. Like in Africa, Botswana is the only country that has never experienced the wars or the aftermath of what was happening in the world. So I would say we are a nation that has never been exposed to extreme stuff. Maybe in future, but before we have never experienced that because the working relationships between the Westerners and then Botswana, it was a good one. Then the rock and roll music was introduced to our forefathers, our ancestors by that time, and it passed to us. So that is how the metal cultures come to us. The dress code, it was actually something cultural. Riding horses, rearing cattle, and making clothes out of that. So that is how the metal community has combined this rock music and the cowboy styles. That's why we are called the metal cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Um, at what moment did you realize Overthrust was becoming bigger than just a local band?
Actually, it was not easy to realize because I remember when it started, we were doing music like I've said before to release our anger for fun because we're youth. And I remember there were so many people that were living abroad that would tell us, "You guys, you know what you are doing. What you are doing is something big." Then we just laugh and say, "Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That's rock and roll. That's fine. We are having fun." And
Yeah.
then I remember there was another guy from South Africa, very close friends of ours. So he came and said, "You guys, I want to manage you. You are doing something great. Is it? Is it?" And he said, "Yeah." Then we asked him, "Are you into music?" He says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a DJ. So where I come from, we listen to a lot of rave music." Oh, the guy's Dutch. Then he said, "But I also love punk music, punk rock." Oh, that's great then. Then he recorded. The guy recorded some video clips, and I think he put them in his page in MySpace before.
Yeah.
He recorded the edit then in MySpace. And then because we were not exposed to technology, internet, or stuff like that, so he was receiving a lot of positive feedback from the world, and I think because he saw how ignorant we were, so he was reluctant to let us know what was going on. He kept on saying, "You guys are doing great. The world is looking at you. Okay, no problem." And then we were invited the show by one of our friends also from Rust. Rust is one of the first underground bands in Southern Africa or Africa in general. So the guy called Stux Diamond, he invited us for his show, and then we played the show. Immediately when we dropped from stage, he took us backstage, and he was like, "You guys, your music is needed in South Africa," because he was playing a lot of shows in South Africa, and there was positive feedback. "You guys, your music, they need it there. They will love it." Then he said, "Is it?" He said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then, okay, no problem. Then we continued with our youthful attitude, and all that mattered by the time was drinking, smoking, and stuff. Then we said, "Okay, that's great. We will hear from you." And then he said, "Okay, I want to record you. Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah." Then he recorded Freedom in the Dark, our single. And then we uploaded it in YouTube. That is
Yep.
actually the track that everybody now was like, these guys are coming all right. These guys will conquer the world. We need these guys. Okay, you need them. Yes. Then that guy came to us again, our manager. "You guys, I saw you on YouTube. Where did you record the music?" They said, "Now we're recording from Tux Diamond." I said, "Yeah, that's great. The recording is also good." And then we relaxed. Then in 2013, that was a breakthrough now. In 2013, Stux Diamond for us, they were invited to a show in Cape Town, Metal for Africa Festival.
Yeah.
And then Stux Diamond says, "No, we have played in South Africa a lot, so there's a band called Overthrust. Can you please give them a chance?" And then they ended up agreeing to that, the host. And then he came to us and said, "You guys, how would you feel if you have to play in Cape Town, Metal for Africa Festival?" And then we said, "Wow, are you serious?" Then he said, "Yeah, I'm serious. With your music, I told you music, they need it there." "Oh, no problem then." Like it was a joke. Then he said, "Ah, that's fine." Like everything, we took everything for granted.
Yeah.
And as the time approaches, it was around December. I said, "You guys have to go to South Africa in January. Do you know that? End of January." "Ah, are you serious? We thought you were playing." And, "Yeah, I'm serious. I'm going to connect you to Patrick Davidson." And then we started receiving emails, and then we started communicating. 2013 Metal for Africa Summer Festival, we were part of it. We played it, and everything was good. So from there, it was an open gate to the world now.
Yeah.
From that Metal for Africa, everyone now started wanting Overthrust until in 2015, our current managers, we met them in 2015. Firstly, Jason Bunning from Florida. He actually approached that before. I think sometimes around 2008 when the band was starting. He was sending us messages like, "I like your music. This is great. I want to help you in your music." Then we were ignoring messages for a very long time. 2013, he also contacted. "I saw your festival, guys, live in South Africa. It was good. So if you need anything, if you need help, just let me know." And then I said, "Oh, right. No, we'll do that." And then we ignored that. 2015, now that is when we realized how serious he was.
Yeah.
We said, we talked to us, this guy has been following us for a very long time and is very patient, and he's offering his services for free. So this might be serious. Then we talked to the band, and that is actually the very first time that we started taking our music seriously now. And this will lead us somewhere, because it was our first time also to fly. and it's just our first time to play in South Africa.
Oh,
So we started now considering ourselves a settled and serious band now. So after talking to Jason, when we agreed that okay, no problem, uh, we made friendship with him. I made friendship with him. We got very close. I get to know him very well, and then we appointed him our manager and record label USA. And then also by the end of 2015, we were invited Wacken Open Air Fest in Germany through our Europe managers. We also met, and then we appointed them our Europe managers.
yeah.
We started with friendship as usual, connecting, getting to know each other, and then they organized us the 2016 tour. We played in Switzerland, and then we played in Germany. A lot of shows there. I think we took a month there. So the bigger the stage of Wacken Open Air, and then the crowd, like we were well received. We were well received. We were even introduced to the host. I remember we were introduced to Stefan and Holger and the chief of Wacken, and everyone was so nice. Pep Bonnet, the photographer from Spain, who also does photography in Wacken, had previously also came the same time to Botswana in 2015. We made friendship, and I was traveling with him around. He was also there, and he was so excited, and he was telling everybody about us because us and him has met before also. So we built a very powerful web of friendship and our team. So
Yeah.
Overthrust delivered very, very well in 2016 at Wacken Open Air. And that is actually where our profile did well. 2017, we were also invited to play in Holland, Switzerland again, and Germany. So then everything else now became the way it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I came across you. You were on with Steve Harvey, a Family Feud.
Yeah.
That's how I found you first.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
But it all matters because the music brought you to that point.
Yeah.
And
He was also surprised to see
yes, he was.
us playing black people. You're playing. Metal. They say, yeah, yeah. Tell me, you guys, how came you played metal? They say, yeah. Then we started telling him the bit history. And he actually he already knows about the metal music. Then we were telling also him about the Ice Cube. Ice Cube has a metal band, the Body Count. So like we were telling that the metal community is so wide. So
Yeah.
it was actually good that we were part of the Family Feud because many people didn't know that there were also African metal bands in Africa.
Yeah.
So like they were saying, wow, so this is happening. So they were like it made it opened everybody's eyes that after
Yeah.
all what we have here is there also existing in Africa. So and it was a very very entertaining program. We loved it, and us also meeting Steve Harvey, it was a dream come true. We have been following him for a long time, and even before the Family Feud started, when he was doing comedy and stuff, we were following him. So it was like a dream. It was a dream come true. So it was
Yeah.
like a miracle. At first we thought when we were backstage, we saw him from the back, and then we were thinking that are you serious? Steve Abe is in Africa. Then he says, the other guy said, yeah, he is there. But it doesn't. But is it him? Maybe somebody has put a mask to present him so that he can do the program. Then they say, no, it's real. It's him actually. It's it. Then they say, his brother was there, also came and said, yeah, you guys, I've seen you in CNN yesterday. Then he said, is it? Then he said, yeah. And I'm your new fan now. We were told the guy is a younger brother to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey also was saying, you guys are all over. I'm saying, you tell me what you do. Then I think that was the most entertaining Family Feud because we knew about Steve as of a TV guy, but we didn't know anything about Family Feud, but throughout the level of the competition until the finals, we managed to win because we didn't know about it first. So the answers were just right in our minds. Like we will just guess and say something simple. We'll say, okay, what is this? So we didn't need to think a lot because we didn't know about it. So we just say something just as close, only to find out it was the answer. It was the answer. The only problem at the finals, it was so difficult to get our accent because our team was old school. So
Yeah.
sometimes it becomes difficult. We say the right answer, but he didn't get it properly. He's thinking something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time it happens, we are going to also attend the competitions. This time we're going to win.
When you mentioned something that some of our viewers here may not understand, how do you define what African metal means today?
Yeah. Actually, African metal music is a music that we have come up with a concept. It's you mean the African music or African metal?
African metal.
Yeah, actually, we have managed to create a concept musically with a combination of our dress code. Like, for example, in my country, Botswana, is a country that back in the days it was well known of rearing cattle and growing crops. So, people were depending on what they had to explore and to survive. Because they were riding horses and stuff, they were using cattle skins to make clothes that were riding horses with, cowboy hats and stuff like that. So when the British came, they came with their culture also of listening of rock and roll music, bands that were already existing, very old bands like the Rolling Stone, Motorhead, Ace of Space, Metallica. So the combination of listening to that music and the cowboy style and then the t-shirts from the bands actually made a combination of a concept that we say is African metal or Botswana metal is Morocco. It is called Morocco, the concept. So that is how actually we identify our music in Botswana. There's also the scene, the African metal music scene is big in South Africa. The whole of Africa is big. There's lots of bands there, lots of bands. There are lots of activities. The scene is big, the venues, and there's too much support there. Even the Wagen Open Air Festival, the finals are in South Africa because South Africa is the gateway to the world also. So we have old bands there that they've done metal before, and then we have a lot of upcoming bands. Like the scene is so solid. So with South Africa being close to our border, so we have benefited a lot from the South African scene. Like Sash Quita, she's head spearing the scene. She's doing very well, and the scene is growing very, very well. She's based in Pretoria, South Africa. And then in Cape Town, there's Slam Dunk Productions. They are also doing very, very well, organizing bands from outside. Metal for Africa Sound Festival, Patrick Davidson and Javier, they are also doing well. So this scene is keeping the African metal awake. We also have band. The scene also is good in Angola. Yeah, it's good in Angola. We have a lot of bands in Angola, in Mozambique, Kenya. The metal is everywhere. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
You mentioned earlier your music blends the anger management, the African mythology, and real life.
Yeah.
How do you balance those worlds when writing, though? I feel like sometimes, I don't know, you come across a maybe a story you've never heard before from African mythology, and you really want to focus on that, but you had more real life. So how do how do you blend that?
The African mythology and the metal music and the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writing culture. I would say the influence was actually from the movies, like the action movies. We would like metal music is everywhere. It's very very influential. Like you'll never separate the metal music from the biking culture. You will never also separate the metal music from what is happening in life, like African mythology. You can't separate it from that because even before we knew about the metal music, the bands were singing about the most of the themes. They were singing about the underground themes that was actually happening in life. And as we looked at our surrounding and our culture and our beliefs, and things were happening. And those things that were happening, they were not being exposed. So metal is a music that exposes such things. And the riding, biking culture is all about freedom. So we cannot separate the two. Like all are strange to somebody who doesn't understand. Like people never get used to a motorbike because they think it's dangerous, it's deadly, it can cripple you or that crash and stuff like that.
Yes.
They look at the metal music, they think it's very influential in negative wise. And
Yes.
people that listen to metal music, they're not cautious people. Like they will just do and do. If they want to do, they do. So they're fearless, stuff like that. And then we take this and then we combine with the mythology or whatever activities happening in life. People are scared of extreme things in life. People are scared of death. People are scared to take their chances because they will say, if I do this, I might lose this. If I might this, I might die. If I do this, how will people look at me? So those things limit people a lot. So
Yeah.
in biking culture, rock and roll, so those things, you just say, let me do, I'll cross the bridge when I get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you gave us a little bit of the path that you guys take to can you walk us through how a typical Overthrust song is born from the first riff to final performance? Because you guys also have to agree on all that, right? Or is
Yeah, yeah.
one person normally the writer?
Yeah. I mean, Overthrust actually, when we compose our music, you mean in terms of music or the start of the band?
The music, making the song.
Music. Yeah, making a song. Sometimes we argue. We can even quit for some seconds and say, okay, you know what? Let's leave this shit. Let's
Yeah.
just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives a lot of headache because personally, I read lyrics. They don't have problem with that. But then the structure of the song, when we compose, we do it together. I give them a structure of a song. It could be me. It could be someone in the band, the guitarist or the drummer. Everybody comes with a structure, and then we come together. We analyze the song before we play it live. We discuss it musically. So this is going to be an intro or pre-intro. So this is the verse, first verse, then the bridge, stuff like that. And then most of the time we argue about the riffs. Maybe one of us will say, that riff is too soft. It's not aggressive. We want something evil. Yeah, then the other one says, hey, yeah, but according to me, it's extreme. I can hear it's brutal. No, we can't do. And then when we start put it into action, we realize now the reality of it. No, but the drama, can you change your technique? That is not how you should drum that song. Because I or someone came with the riff, they already have a pattern of how it will go, and the elements that they need to be included from others. So
Yeah.
if I expected the drama to thrill it, like to blast beat it, or to play on some single stroke on it, and then he comes up with a different technique, I get pissed. Look, this is not how we do it. Then we say, okay, you do it. Then you do it. Then we take a break to cool down. Then we come back again. By the end of the day, the song is complete. Usually we take our song step by step. We will do the whole structure, a draft of a song, and
Yeah.
then we will say, okay, this is your part, this is your part, this is your part, and then we do the first part of it, which is the intro, and then the first and second verse, and then we repeat, then the bridge. When we get in the bridge, we stay there for the song. Then we take a break, we come back again, then we continue. Then from there until the song is up. Then after when the song is aligned and we agreed, no, this song is now okay, it's perfect. That is when I add the lyrics after, when everybody now knows the song. So that is actually we do. When we do songs in Overthrust, we do them as a team. So I don't come with a song and say, yeah, take. This is how we do it. We discuss the song. So that is how all our songs are mostly are very identical. Like we have our own signature.
Now, we'll have people from a lot of different countries tuning into this episode. I'm pretty excited. And so could you explain to them, because we're in the Google age, and so you're going to say it and then we're all going to Google it, but they may not understand. Could you explain which mythological or cultural stories from Africa have most influenced your lyrics?
Yeah, the most cultural or mythology or African belief that has actually influenced Overthrust music is the fact that, like I've said before, we are very old school, and we were lucky to be born in I would say, it's the middle age. Middle age era is the 85. 85, we have experienced both the old school, olden days, and the modern days. So we are so lucky to be in that. We understand both parts of the world. So back then, we used to spend a lot of time at the kettle post with our grandparents, especially when the schools were closed.
Yeah.
So it's the kettle post in Botswana or in other parts of Africa. They're very scary at night because there are wild animals, and there are also some abandoned yards, old yards that we were told that there used to live an old man here. He was a witch doctor, or he was just a traditional doctor.
Yeah.
We had somebody here who hanged himself here. Their spirits are there. So the places were haunted places in those bushes, and we grew up. We used to see ghosts like at night. You will see just a fire or a huge spark of fire in front of you, then it disappears, or just see a figure, a long figure. You will not see the head, you will not see the toes, just a long figure from there. So it was so scary, and it felt so real. And the witchcraft was too much. People believed in witchcraft, and they could even perform some miracles, sort of, in front of everyone. So they were very, very powerful witchcraft doctors before. So because we grew up in that era, our music was influenced because we talked about things that we have seen in life. And then we are trying to take that picture to the world and say, no, it might appear as stories, but some of us have experienced it. We have seen, like myself also, when I was a police officer, I've also attended very, very extreme incidents of like suicide, murder suicide. So I also write about that. That is the reality of life of it.
Yeah.
That is the actually things that people don't usually talk about. So I've seen them, I've experienced them. So that is what also makes my lyrics so easy to write, because I'm writing about what is surrounding me. and my experiences. And those experiences are brutal experiences that fits very well in the death metal music genre.
So you've got people that are attending your shows, your concerts, listen to your music. And I know there's a wide variety of songs, as you said, with everything that you pull from to put in. But what emotions do you want fans to leave with after an Overthrust show?
Yeah, actually, after an Overthrust show, I want people that attend our show to come up like open-minded. Majority of people, I'm sorry to say, especially the people that are too much into religion, I feel that most of them are kind of brainwashed because they tend to believe too much and forget about like using their own power, own thinking.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I can do this. This can happen or this cannot happen. Like here in Africa, most people they believe too much into what they hear from the church. They are spending a lot of money in churches, yet they are getting poor and poor because I feel they are deceived. We used to have pastors who used to tell people that they can actually perform some miracles for somebody to get rich. But people will donate money for the pastor, but the more they donate, the more they get poorer. And when you talk about it, it's like they are brainwashed. They will kill you. They'll get very very angry and say, "You are saying this because you are evil. You are possessed.
Yes.
You don't know what you are saying." So those kind of things, we looked at them also, and then some of our songs now we started writing songs that criticizes religion, and then they'll start labeling us because we were here and they were there and we were seeing what was happening. Like there are incidents that has happened in Africa. Some pastors were making people to eat grass, to drink Dettol, they do a lot of variety of stuff. Some of them were involved in money laundering and some crimes, but people yet still followed them. It's
Yeah.
only currently 2 years back that we are seeing people now, especially in the social media, they are starting to say, when like somebody say, "No, I can perform a miracle and I can heal you," they say, "Ah, go to hell. We know you guys. You are just scamming. You are deceiving us."
Yes.
So I would say our music also have contributed positively because those guys, I think, they were the opposite of what they were preaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you describe metal as anger management therapy. How has the music personally saved or grounded you?
Yeah, the concept of anger management, like when somebody is angry and the anger builds inside, so they will explode, like they will do things without
Yes.
thinking.
Yes.
So when people listen to metal, when they listen to Overthrust music or metal in general, there's a lot of screaming in there. There's a lot of noise that will like play with your mind, like make your mind divert into something else. Like it will convert your energy into something else. Like when somebody's angry, they wouldn't just come to say if they say they want to attack to you and say they want to slap you. Or they want to tell you to. They want to say, okay, shut up. They just can't come and say shut up. They will say shut up. They will
Yes.
that anger. That's shut up. After saying that, you see the person like now they are starting to breathe slowly, bit by bit, like they have released something. So that is the usual attitude of a metal music. Like when they sing, they scream, there's a lot of pounding drums. That energy when you hear the drum pounding, if you had energy that you want to fight, and somebody is playing that energy, and then you are comparing that anger and that one, it actually swallows that anger in you. So
Yeah.
it's a therapy because metal music, you would say, okay, I want to hang myself. Uh, Someone will say, "No, don't do that. It's not good. You are now it canceling. If you do this, you will do that and that. Nobody will. People will forget about you. This is your life." Then metal will come and say, "Okay, you want to hear yourself? That's fine. That's good. What are you going to use? Do you prefer a wire or something or a present?" And then you look at somebody's talking like that. It's not common for people to say that. Then you end up laughing, and then that's his therapy. Say you are crazy, you are
Yeah.
crazy. Like somebody, the song will say, go ahead, kill yourself, motherfucker, go ahead." And then you listen to the song and say, "What?" It's something that you are not used to hearing that,
Yeah.
and then you have a problem. You end up forgetting about the problem, and that's how
Yeah.
metal heals everyone. Like you are free, you become a child again. You do funny stuff, you do things the opposite way, but you become bad in a good way. So something that can actually teach people that you know what, don't take life seriously. Just live your life and do whatever you do, and
Yeah.
forget about everything. Less stress. Yeah.
Do you think heavy music is understood when it comes to mental health and emotional healing? Because you did a good job just now of explaining it, but
Yeah.
to what you said is not everybody's open-minded enough to
Yeah.
even give it a chance to either to get the I know this is going to sound weird, the soothing effects, the release that the
Yeah.
metal music is going to give you. It's the release. But do you
Yeah.
think that it's you think it's misunderstood when it comes to that mental health and emotional healing?
Yeah, it's so difficult, but I think if we do more workshop, metal workshop, it would help people. But I've never seen anyone attending a metal show, even new people that attend a metal show, uh, getting bored when they get there or when they after the show. Actually, they will even come more because they experience something different. People play one and the same thing, but metal music over the years has managed to keep its originality the same way. Maybe 95% of it is still the same way.
Yeah.
So people will have negative perceptions about it before they attend or before they actually see what's going on with metal music until they attend, and then or somebody make them listen to it to the music. At first they will say, this music is noise, this music is bullshit, and then from there after some time they will ask you, so what's the name of that band that was playing? Then you say, okay, that was Meatloaf. Oh, I love the song. Or maybe they will hear a song playing the radio. They will not even know it's a metal or rock and roll song music. But rock and roll is everywhere. It's used in sports.
Yeah.
It's used in movies.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere. So, but what surprises me is that they are loving seeing that or hearing that in those ways. But when it becomes an ordinary metal show or rock and roll show, people start getting confused. They actually love metal music, not knowing that they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Has making music helped keep you out of trouble during your younger years, and how?
yeah, it has. Actually, the metal music before when we started listening to it, we used to gather at one's place with a tape. Then we'll bring our tapes that we got from our uncles and relatives. We will stay there the whole day listening to metal. Those who were drinking will drink just in that surrounding because we can't go to the bar because at the bar they're not playing metal. So we rather play our metal here. So like the metal people, I will say they are the most coolest people because they don't associate much in public, and the majority of them that we knew from the young age, they've grown up well. They are very respectable people. It's a music that unites the world because I've seen when we were traveling a lot in Germany, we realized also that in the metal community, the whole world, there's no race, there's no background, status, where you come from doesn't matter, your color of your skin doesn't matter at all. like everybody is welcome the way they
Yeah.
are. So
Yeah.
it's a very uniting music. And I've seen also in some punk rock areas we were performing in Germany, they had written in the walls that countries without borders, like they're against racism, they're against people ill treating others. So like we have traveled places, meeting metalheads in new places, and within some minutes we are all over each other, enjoying, drinking, and chatting as if we are long friends.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah,
Your live shows and performances.
yeah,
Your performances are described as movie like. How
yeah.
important is theatrics and storytelling when you're on stage?
Yeah, like when we are on stage, the concept of music, anger management, music, the way we describe it, we are actually demonstrating how to unleash the music, how to divert the energy into something positive.
Yeah.
So, like, we want to keep our friends entertained, but at the same time, what we are doing when we perform live, it actually makes us very very happy, and like it makes us like see the reality of life, like how good life is.
Yeah.
So like I would say being on stage is something that I would say is the major thing that makes part of my life happy, because uh, when we call people, we want to show people, we want to give people entertainment, the real entertainment. And most of the time when we perform, I like talking to people about life. I like guiding people. Like, I know we are all drunk and stuff and we're happy, but don't forget where you come from. Take
Yeah.
care of your loved ones. Look at each other. Don't despise others. Treat others nicely. You know, we might be different about our backgrounds or stuff, but remember that there's something that makes us the same. We are all going to die someday and forget about everything.
Yes.
So after a song, intensive song, and everybody's happy, then it's quiet. Then I tell them that then when they go home, some will send me messages. Hey man, that was good. That phrase that I will never forget. That yes, I was so angry. Then now I'm not fighting with my wife anymore. Now she's happy also. She said you came back a changed man from the metal show. Did they give you drugs? He said no, I don't take drugs. We were just chatting, and the frontman for Overthrust just said a very nice speech, and I realized how precious life is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For since you have been able to perform in different places, some of us may never know that. Some of my viewers have never left their country. How does performing in Botswana feel different from performing in Europe or the US?
Yeah, but for me in Botswana, we have limited resources in terms of festivals, like the good quality sound. It's very, very expensive. The venues, there are very few venues and small. The good ones are very expensive, and we can't afford them. So the people are very supportive, small population, but very supportive. But in terms of benefiting from the music, we are not at all. So we are actually not doing it to be a millionaires or stuff like that. We are doing it to satisfy our desires, to make ourselves happy and stuff. When money comes, then that's bonus. So the difference is that when we play in USA or in Europe or everywhere, or South Africa, because South Africa has a very big scene, there's a lot of exposure that we get there. Like we get big crowds cheering us, supporting, buying the merchandise and stuff. And also we get exposed to promoters, we get exposed to the media and everyone else that want to do business with us. And the sound is crazy. The sound is so big and the lighting. So the more we play this, it gives us like a huge exposure. And
Mhm.
we benchmark a lot with the bands interaction, the big bands that are already there. So what is benefiting us is that when we come back as Overthrust from these shows, we also share with the local scene what we have experienced there. We do the shows with them. We try by all means to guide them on how to do things to reach to the level that we are now. Yeah, but it's getting there. Most of the bands, especially in Botswana, they are disbanding because when they start metal band or rock and roll music band, they do it so that they can live with it. It can make money for them. But the thing that is still they're still failing to understand, especially from myself when I talk to them, advising them is that they believe that you can't just make a band and not benefit from it, not make money from it. But I say, yeah, but this is rock and roll, guys. You can't get money that other genres of music are making. You can't. Yeah,
Yes.
it's all about passion. And for you to start a metal, you have to start the music because you loved it from before. So the moment you put like achieving money more before you do the work, you're going to get discouraged. So many bands disband because the venues are expensive, the sound is expensive, to organize a show is expensive. In myself, at some point, I've decided that I was going to stop organizing the shows. Then I was like, but if I stop now, what happens now? Everything will stop because everybody is looking on us and trusting that we keep the fire of the scene burning. So
Yes.
that is actually what we are experiencing in Botswana. It's very discouraging, not only in Botswana, I think also in some other parts of Africa. It's discouraging because there's lack of support. We don't have sponsors. Some bands can record good music and then they have everything, they are ready, but then they will not end anyway. They will not have sponsor to fly to go out where they can actually benefit from a huge audience and sell merchandise and be booked with big promoters. So it's very discouraging. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charity, community, and legacy. Why was it important for Overthrust to build charity work into the band's identity?
Yeah, when I first went to Ganzi, working there as a policeman, because we were patrolling the streets and stuff, I was seeing a lot of disadvantaged children in the community. Like they were roaming the streets, and I was having a chat with them. Some of them they have abandoned school; they were not going to school, and some of them they were telling me that they're struggling at home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I sat down with the band and say, "Oh, guys, we need to do something for these kids because we are their voice. There are also other people that are their voice, but they're doing nothing about it. So it's like these are the kids that tomorrow they will be causing trouble because
Yes.
of the how they were groomed up, or if they are treated well and guided well, they are the leaders of tomorrow. So let's do something about it." And then we started from nothing. The festival Overthrust Winter Metal Mania Festival started from nothing at all. But when we started, we were with about 5 bands and we were with less than 50 people in the community hall. Eventually, the show spread when the BBC attended the show, and then we have bands from South Africa and Namibia attending, and then the community was very supportive. After that, the community started coming because they also saw the show in our national TV. And then we started engaging the authorities, the mayor, and everyone else to officially open the festival and then talked to the festival, to the community. We were picking litters in the streets. We were buying clothes for the kids and food. We were donating to them. The bikers also came. The show was attended by a lot of members of the bikers. Now Namibia came, South Africa came. Now we have people from Europe now attending the festival because they heard about it. And then the festival became bigger than our pockets. And then we never know what happened. We were like, oh, we never thought this show will come big like this. The show eventually became the center of the African metal scene and a bridge to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the Overthrust story is told years from now, what do you hope people understand about your journey?
Yeah, people will understand that where Overthrust come from was not just a smooth road; it was a rough road. But they should know that in life, not only in music, maybe in a relationship, maybe in family, nothing's just going to be easy and smooth, and
Yes.
nobody's just going to agree with you or stuff like that. There are also always going to be challenges, and those challenges, when they come, they need to be faced head on. No need to run away from them, because you run away from them, you come back, they are waiting for you. So there's no running away. The only way when you are running away is when you are dead.
Yes. Oh, you are right. Before we wrap, I want to give a huge thank you to Overthrust for coming on the podcast, sharing this story with us from Botswana to the world. You've shown that metal isn't just noise; it's purpose, it's healing, it's culture, and community. We appreciate your time, the honesty, and the music you continue to put into the world. Nothing but respect for what you've built and still what's coming next. Everybody, make sure you check out Overthrust's music, their merchandise, and upcoming tour dates. And if you've never seen them live, I think we all found out today you need to. Much love, safe travels, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.